So there's a lot of reading challenges that are coming out for 2026 right now, and I was debating on doing like the horror reading challenge, or yeah, I was really only debating that one. But then one of my favorite YouTubers, SpicyKatz, came out with a very fun looking challenge, something that's super up my alley, and it is a monster romance reading challenge using a Loteria card. So basically, a different card will be drawn by random each month, and each specific card will correlate with a different prompt for you to read a new monster romance each month of the year. And I thought this would be perfect. It's not too intense. You're basically just reading like one additional book each month. So I had never really done a reading challenge before. I'm like getting back into reading. Thought it would be perfect, thought it would be super doable, and I actually had a lot of fun making a TBR for this. So I'm gonna go say what I think I'm probably gonna read for each prompt, and then give maybe like one or two additional options to see if that might be something that you're into. We have the regular prompts, and then we have hard mode, which has like additional things for you to look into when choosing your read. When it comes to hard mode, there's some of these prompts that I am definitely going to do, and then some of them I'm not sure. And not all of my recommendations or my TBR is going to fulfill the hard mode prompts. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, the hard mode, I might not be able to help you, but I know that Kitty of SpicyKatz Reads is going to be posting some recommendations of books that fulfill the regular prompt and the hard mode prompt for each month for the different cards that are being drawn. So definitely check out her page if you need some more recommendations, especially specifically for hard mode. Okay, so all of that out of the way, let's just go through each of the prompts, and I'll share what book I think I'm going to read, and then any other recommendations or things that I think would be fun to fulfill this prompt. So the first one is I Love My Wife, which is read a book where the monster is the FMC. Hard mode is a sapphic romance. So basically, what I want to read will definitely hit the hard mode because I have two options. My first option is She Came from the Swamp, which is kind of a little novella about a kikimora and a human woman. And it seems to have like a really fun setting. I love like swamps and like marshlands, and it seems super fun. But at the same time, I have this on my physical TBR. It is the Rainbow Crate version of Providence Girls by Morgan Dante. And I've been really wanting to read this. I started it a little bit last year, but I never finished it. It is a beautiful gothic monster romance by Morgan Dante, and the whole idea behind this book is that it's like two Lovecraftian heroines from different Lovecraft short stories finding each other and falling in love, and it's an epistolary novel, so it's all different letters that they write to each other, and one of the women is turning into like an eldritch like sea creature monster, which sounds so interesting. So right now I don't know if I'm gonna read She Came from the Swamp or this one. I will have updates in the future. I'm such a mood reader, so I think I'm not gonna decide until like the very moment where I have to actually make the decision and read the book. So these are my two options. They are both sapphic, so they fulfill the hard mode of the prompt. Next one is A Deal with the Demon. Read a book featuring a deal of some kind, and the hard mode setting is post-apocalyptic. For this one, I have a couple options. The one that seems really fun and lighthearted would be The Good Boys Club. This is a werewolf monster romance, and it is fake dating, so that fulfills a more lighthearted interpretation of like a deal of some sort. But if you want to fulfill the hard mode, there is King of Hell, which is also by Morgan Dante. And this one has to deal with a demon and the King of Hell going out of hell into the world, hunting down like an evil ex of this demon or something. I could be wrong about like the specifics, but the setting is post-apocalyptic, and the King of Hell and this main character have a deal to go and find this person. It is a kind of like post-apocalyptic Mad Max road trip thing with zombies, and the two main characters fall in love. So that would fulfill the hard mode. But if we're being honest, I think I'm probably leaning more towards the Good Boys Club, especially if I read the other Morgan Dante. So I want to have like kind of fun, silly, fake dating vibes. And I love werewolves, so I want to read as many like fun werewolf monster romances as I can. Okay, and so the next one is a rock fact, which is reading a book with a gargoyle. And the hard mode for this is you can use a game to pick the read, so like a spinner wheel, random number generator, or like your own specific TBR game that you made up for this. I have, what I know that I'm definitely going to read for this one is Getting It On With Gargoyles by Hazel Mack. And this is because I've heard so many good things about this series. It is about a group of sisters who stumble across this small town that is filled with monsters. And it's supposed to be like super fun, super cozy, small town vibes. And the first book is about a gargoyle. But if that is not necessarily what you're looking for, if you've read that book already, might I suggest Deceived by the Gargoyles by Lillian Lark. This is a why choose reverse harem gargoyle monster romance featuring a plus size librarian and 3 gargoyles. And the fun part about this book is that the gargoyles are like all together. They are already considered like themselves like a family and like a polycule. They I always love like a reverse harem where like the boyfriends are boyfriends, you know, like everybody needs to love on each other. Like that's my vibe. I just want everybody to be in a happy big polycule, and that's this book. So it's super cute. Super easy to read, super fun read, super fast read, and the characters are very fun in this. So definitely would recommend Deceived by the Gargoyles. It was a fun read. I read this 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. Very fun main character, and all of the gargoyles were fun and hot in their own way. So next one is Did That Object Just Talk? And that is read a sentient object romance. Hard mode is flavored cum. I don't know if I can say that. It's not like I'm getting monetized anyway. Who cares? Anyway, so I only have one recommendation for this. Well, this is the one that's on my TBR because it just seems so ridiculous that none of the other options were an option for me. So I'm gonna read Cold Sweat by Vera Valentine. It is a Kool-Aid Man romance, and the Kool-Aid Man is her stepbrother, I think. So there's that. I don't know how that works. And I think they're also like enemies. So it's just like, it seems really ridiculous. And if it's the Kool-Aid Man, I mean, I don't know if his cum is flavored, but I would assume it is, right? So I don't know. That's what I'm gonna read. I don't have any other recommendations, but there are so many silly object romances that you can find. This is the one I'm reading. There is no other one in my mind. So yeah. The next one is one that I'm really looking forward to. It is the Alpha, and that is read a book featuring werewolves. The hard mode is a book featuring MPreg. And this one is kind of hard for me because I want to read all three of these books. So the first one is Wolf Gone Wild. I've heard really good things about this series as well. It is about a witch and a werewolf, and the werewolf's like inner wolf is like on the fritz, so he needs the help from a witch, and they fall in love, and it's super cute and cozy. And I've heard really good things about this, but there's also Alpha of Mortal Flesh, which, to be fair, when it comes to werewolf like romances, I feel like they can go one of three ways. They could go monster romance, paranormal romance, or fantasy romance. So Alpha of Mortal Flesh by Ben Alderson, I think probably veers more into like the fantasy romance area. But at the same time, it looks like he's shifting on the cover. I don't know. I really do want to read this one. It is like a fairy tale retelling of, I believe, Little Red Riding Hood. I have heard really good things about this author as well, and I've been meaning to read some of his books. It is a gay werewolf, and I think the other guy is a witch too, but I could be wrong. So I do really, that one's kind of on the top of my list that I want to read. But at the same time, there is His Reluctant Omega Mate by Jax Stewart. This one is an Omegaverse, obviously, and it has MPreg. So this would fulfill the hard mode, and it seems really interesting. I've read like MPreg in like fan fictions, but I have never read a published book with MPreg. And I don't think I've really read many Omegaverses either. So yeah. So this is Fated Mates, it's Omegaverse, it is MPreg. It just seems really fun. I really want to read it. So those are all of the books that I am thinking about reading for a werewolf prompt. I don't know which one I'm going to read yet. Sound off in the comments which one you think you're going to read, or if you have an opinion on which one I should read. Okay, so the next one is MerMAN MerMAN. Read a book that takes place underwater featuring a mermaid or a kraken. Hard mode, no human form allowed for mermaid or kraken character. They always need to be in the water. So what I'm definitely reading is going to be Whispers of the Deep. This is the January pick, is MerMAN MerMAN. So in January, I'm definitely reading Whispers of the Deep. It is a love story, I think it's enemies to lovers, between a engineer woman who is working on this underwater city and a merman who wants to like wage war on the humans. And it is set completely underwater, so that fulfills the prompt, as well as this merman has no human form. So that's what I am definitely going to read, because I've been wanting to read this for a long time. Now, this book that I am recommending doesn't fit 100% into the prompt, because it does not take place underwater, but it is one of my favorite books ever. It is not only just like a favorite monster romance, it is like one of my favorite books ever. And it is A Bone in His Teeth by Kellen Graves. So This book is about Alba, and Alba is a former sailor who is kind of on the run from debt collectors, as well as trying to figure out where his mother has disappeared to. And that takes him to his mother's hometown, where it is kind of mysterious and it is very small, and all of the locals seem to have like a secret. But he decides to become the lighthouse keeper for this town. And through trying to solve these secrets of where his mother went, he comes across a merman. So they're helping each other with each of the mysteries that they're trying to solve. Alba being like, what is going on with my mother? What is going on with this town? And what is his name? Oh, I can't pronounce his name really well. Eridanus? The merman is trying to figure out where all of his merman family, the population of the mermaids who live in that sea, where they have gone. Really good. It's like a horror, erotic monster romance with a mystery, trans main character, really hot smut. Most of the time, this guy is in his mermaid form, but he does come onto land occasionally. But I just recommend it. It is so good. This is one of my favorite books ever. This is the Fake Grade edition. So grateful that I was able to get my hands on this one. Because, like I said, favorite book. So good. So I recommend that. It doesn't really fulfill the prompt, but like, I don't care. I think everybody should read this book. Now, the next one is Monster Mash, which is read a book that features more than one type of monster. Hard mode features a cock pocket. Now, the problem with this is that I don't know what to search to figure out if any of these books have a character with a cock pocket. So I can't really help with the hard mode, but I have a couple of books that I want to read. I think I'm leaning most towards Mesmerized by the Moth Woman. This is like a cute romance featuring older characters. This guy finds this cute plus size moth woman on like a dating app. It seems adorable and the cover is so cute. I really want to read this one. I think I'm going to read this one. But there's also That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. I've heard nothing but really good things about this series. People say it's really funny. A lot of like the books in the rest of the series have been 5 stars for a lot of the people that I trust in their recommendations. So I do want to read this book, but I kind of want to read The Moth Woman a little bit more. And then I also saw another book that looks really good, or just it looks fun. It's called His Slender Embrace by Amanda Mewison. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry. But this is a book about falling in love with Slender Man or a Slender Man. So all of these books fulfill the prompt of like a world where monsters are just around. There's multiple monsters in this universe. So I think I'm going to read Mesmerized by the Moth Woman. But these other ones are good options as well. Then we have Aliens Welcome, which is read a book that takes place on another planet. Hard mode is some type of biological process needs to happen to allow survival on this different planet. Again, I'm not entirely sure how to figure that out. So these prompts I don't think fulfill the hard mode, but I'm not sure. This one is another one that is going to be tough for me to decide which one to read, because there is the classic Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I have not read yet. Honestly, this whole reading challenge, was really exciting to me because there's a huge backlog of just like classic like monster romances that are super popular, monster romances series that are super good, that people have so many good things to say about them. Really, really popular ones, and I have not read them yet. And I'm going through like my whole backlist of everything I've been wanting to read. So Ice Planet Barbarian seems like the perfect fit. But at the same time, there is Space for Love by Emily Antoinette, which is a alien romance. I think it's technically maybe set on a space station, but this has a plus size main character, and she ends up going on like not necessarily a date, but like hooks up with like this pleasure bot situation, and the person behind the bot, like this hologram, is a alien who is a little bit more monstrous, and she's obsessed with this pleasure bot and wants to know the person behind it, but the alien is afraid that the woman is not going to like what she sees, that he's too monstrous. So I don't know which one I'm gonna read, guys. I really want to read both. I think this is another situation where I'm really going to just pick like day of. So those are my options. The next one is Area 51, which is read a book featuring an alien on Earth, and the hard mode is scientific testing as part of the plot. This one was a little bit harder to find. It's so much easier to find like monster romances or alien romances that deal with like, I don't know, other planets. The whole like Mars needs women kind of trope is way more popular, I think. The only one that I really found for sure that I think also fits the hard mode is Heart's Prisoner by Olivia Riley. I believe this does have like testing, and this alien is like held as a prisoner on Earth, and I think the other woman I can't remember if she's a scientist or if she's not, but she falls in love with him and tries to help him escape, I think. The other one that I found is seems like a lot more chill and cozy and funny, less serious than Heart's Prisoner, is Abducted by Moonlight by Petra Palermo. This one just seems cute. This one is a plus size human and her werewolf boyfriend getting abducted by alien, and all of them getting into like a little polycule together, which is super up my alley. So I'm leaning more toward Heart's Prisoner because it actually fulfills the prompt a little bit better, I think. But this one, Abducted by Moonlight, also seems super cute and like a fun option. Then we have Holiday Celebration, which is read a book featuring a holiday, and the hard mode is the protagonist is the representation of the holiday. So this one, I really, really want to read Pray for Rabbit by Aidan Pierce. Aidan Pierce wrote some of my favorite books that I read in 2025, which is the Sinner's Sideshow series. This one is about a society of like shifters, where these rabbit shifters give up a sacrifice every year, like on Easter, to these wolf shifters, and they have like this kind of like hunt to hunt down and kill these rabbit shifters. But then one of the wolf shifters finds this rabbit and is like, that's my mate. And then it turns into this like dangerous dance of erotic stuff, because the rabbit shifter specifically like was signed up to be like the sacrifice, but she has made it her goal to like kill these wolf shifters. So this seems super fun. Dark romance, monster romance, shifter romance. Seems very, very fun. As far as, I don't know if this technically, I don't think it hits the hard mode. The other one that seems fun, this one doesn't hit the hard mode either, is Stranded in the Satyr's Garden by Sia Petrichor. This one is mostly just like a holiday romance where like I think these two people or this woman is at a holiday party and gets like whisked away to the Satyr's Garden, I think, which seems fun. I definitely think I'm going to read Pray for Rabbit though, because this one I've been wanting to read for kind of a while. Then we also have YeeHaw for the next prompt, which is read a book that is set on a farm or ranch setting, and the hard mode is animals are not found on Earth. So the book that I really want to read, and I think this fulfills the hard mode as well, is Married to the Alien Cowboy by Ursa Dax. Again, this is another series that I've heard really, really good things about. So I'm thinking this is going to be the one that I read. But there also is this book, which isn't out yet. I think maybe it's out in like February. Don't quote me on that, but it's out sometime in 2026. And it is Live, Love, Lasso by Hazel Mack. And this is the first book in a Cowboy Monster Romance series by Hazel Mack that seems also super cute. So those are my two options, leaning more towards Married to the Alien Cowboy though. Then I think this is the last one. The last prompt is Nodding. Read a book with a shifter, and the hard mode is Nodding is not with a werewolf. So this one, here's the thing. I forgot. Oh, I guess I could use this. Okay. At first, I thought the prompt was like only nodding and not necessarily the shifter romance aspect of it. So I had put Ruby Dixon's Bull Moon Rising. I specifically Googled, does Bull Moon Rising have nodding in it? And Google AI said that it did. And I was like, I'm not sure if I trust you, Google AI, but everything else pointed to yes. But the problem is that this Minotaur is not a shifter. So disregard that recommendation. But luckily I have two other recommendations. There is A Den Mate for Dylan. These are fox shifters. And it seems to be like a very like sweet, cozy romance. This has nodding. Does this have MPreg as well? Let me double check for you. This is Brother's Best Friend. It's not MPreg, I don't think. But it is nodding. And it seems really, really cute, and it is fox shifters, so that fulfills the hard mode prompt. Then there was also another book that just seemed really funny, which is Bro and the Beast. And this is a book about this guy who gets portaled, I guess, into his, I think his brother's werewolf shifter romances. Oh, this is the one with MPreg. I think. Yes, this is the first in the Wolf's Mate series. So this is about a muscle frat bro named Brad, who gets run off the road by a reckless driver, but when he wakes up, he's inside his twin brother's favorite corny shifter romance novel. So it has shifter romance, it has nodding, and he is in the crosshairs of the menacingly hot hero of the Wolf's Mate, who's intends on teaching Brad a whole new meaning to the word alpha. And it does have nodding. And it's set in this shifter romance, paranormal romance book that was written in the 80s. So it seems like really fun vibes. So those are my options. I'm leaning more towards the Bro and the Beast because that just seems just like a fun, goofy, silly time. So yeah, those are all the prompts, and those are my tentative TBR and also like TBR recommendations. Some fulfill hard mode prompts, some don't. But that is what I'm going to be doing this upcoming year in 2026, is just reading a huge backlog of monster romances that I've been meaning to read for quite a while. But yeah, what are you thinking of reading? Are you into monster romances? Do you want to fulfill all of these prompts? Will you fulfill the hard mode? Do you have any recommendations for me that might be something that I completely overlooked that does fulfill these prompts? Let me know. Write in the comments if you're have any recommendations, or really if you just want to say hi, because that's always fun. But yeah, those are all of my TBRs, and I'm hoping to maybe do multiple reading vlogs about this monster romance reading challenge, but we shall see how that works out. That is my goal. So yeah, hope everybody has a happy new year and happy monster romance reading. Bye.